what's on your mind. We don't really care. It's our opinions, all you gotta hear. We sensible sometimes, without no doubt. But try this in with a conch shell in your mouth.
Fuck these people talking about.
Post practice,
Talking about.
post practice,
Couple shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really post post. It's really post post. It's really post post.
About.
Post practice,
What they talking about?
post practice,
Couple shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really
Delay,
post
delay.
post. It's really post post.
delay.
It's really post practice.
Drink jail do right. Straight up.
Okay. That's enough. Okay.
Chief is up. Right there.
Okay. Who going first? Okay.
Gianna's going first.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if he can keep this by idea.
Okay, with that said, good evening and welcome to the third edition of Post Practice.
Yeah.
Say welcome, Aaron. You look like you little worried.
Yeah.
You alright?
Yeah, good.
Tonight we are sponsored by Insider Productions and the Spot 242. Thanks, Aaron, for allowing us your humble abode, and Jay for creating the vibe.
Practice.
Yeah. And Gail for making sure that it always happens. Yeah. So tonight we have a
Gianna
panel.
for nothing.
Tonight we have a
Gianna.
panel of Aaron, Jason, Gail, and Gianna. And of course, like always, each panelist will present a topic, discuss, and pass it on. So tonight we'll start with Gianna.
And my topic is straight to the point. I feel as though most politicians, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I feel as though most politicians should only be allowed to serve 2 terms max, and then turn it over to a younger person in the generation who is interested in government. Mainly because certain MPs get into corruption because of the MPs before them, and we need to stop all of that. And the only way to stop that is to take a lot of them out. Make sure that they can't get back in power to pass on their corruptive knowledge.
You say 2 terms, do you mean 2 consecutive terms, 2 run? Like, can I serve 2 terms and come back?
I think it should be a situation where if they are able to serve 2 consecutive, then if they get voted in, for 2 consecutive, then so be it. If they are voted out, then they should not be able to run again.
Okay.
Like ever in life?
Like ever in life.
My question is, do you feel that we have the resources needed to run a system that way? Is there enough people out there that really interested in putting their hand out in politics that we truly could have 10 years service and then you find another 40 MPs?
I do. Especially in 2018, because there are a lot of people, Bahamians, just fed up with the way certain things were being handled before, and there are a lot of people stepping up. Now, I don't know if you notice in any organization, business, or just whatever, if there's a job to be done and there's a group of people, someone is going to do the job. Now, I'm not saying that we should leave it to chance, that hoping that someone could just rise up and do the job. But there's someone out there who does want change and will step up in situations like that.
Okay.
Alright, so like, I get like 1,000 things, right? First of all, that seems very sort of not democratic at all, right? But that's cool because I'm I could be anti-democratic. We could work on that. But what if it's the system that's corrupt? And what if no matter who you put there, the system could corrupt them, right? Like, What if we just could be cycling through a whole bunch of people,
Corruptions.
right? And what if then, like, the third thing is, what if you correlating, right, to the wrong thing? Like, what if it's that a whole bunch of people can't get visas no more? So,
What?
right, like they can't leave and get asylum.
Because
As
they
an
politically
end game- as
exposed
an end
it.
game because of a cycle of corruption between new person after new person after new
Yeah, 'cause,
person,
like-
and then it's just a downward spiral in the country.
Right,
man.
because that's what I'm saying. All these by them can't be, they wasn't born corrupt, right? Like, could it be that all of these by them are corrupt? Or is it
No.
that
By
that
nature
some-
of the office.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or is it that the system, like, are we saying only corrupt type by them,
Actually puts their hand in.
right? Or is it that the system in some way corrupts
people.
whoever enters it?
I don't feel like that's the case. Mainly because it is mainly the person though. Because honestly, you can't break a strong-willed person. No matter how hard you try, you can end up. If you are the corrupt superior, you can end up firing him before you break him. Truthfully, and if you have unbreakable people in these situations, that could totally change the system.
But okay, let me say this though. When you say politicians, you're talking like MPs, cabinet ministers, and them type people, right?
Pretty much the decision
Okay.
makers of the country.
Do you realize though that the MPs don't run the ministry? The actual permanent secretary is the one who actually runs the ministry, and they don't move. That's why they're called the permanent secretary, right? So the permanent secretary is pretty much, if the MP wants to break in, okay, say Ministry of Works or whatever, they want to put a new speed bump, and the minister's like, yes, we put in this new speed bump. The permanent secretary says, fuck that, we're not doing no speed bump. The MP, or the PM, the MP, have to say, okay, well, I guess we ain't have no speed bump.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how the
The
system
PS
works.
run.
It is the permanent secretary that runs the ministry. They are the ones that are constantly.
Deal with the
They are
everyday.
the
So
constant.
why is
seems
that
as
still
it
like
seems
that?
as if we're not in a democracy at all.
Well, I think, wait, but let me tell you why it's like that.
Bottom line
Because
is.
the MP is really
Since you
just
put
a
it
figure.
like
The
that.
MP is really just a figurehead.
Why is
No,
that?
no, think about
why is that?
Like you said,
still
the
a thing.
the
The MP is
MPs
a figurehead.
And
You know,
the PS
Westminster?
is the
Yeah.
no, the PS is the top civil servant. They make the decisions in that ministry, right?
right.
They're responsible for all the decisions made in that ministry.
Okay.
They, on the advice of the technocrats, of the technicians, of the experts and the professionals, and their staff weigh that against the policy that the minister has set. And then they determine whether that's possible within
That's
the
right.
economic restraints of the ministry.
That's right.
But you would assume then that they are unbiased. Which
They
is,
are.
Right,
Which
that's
is not
the-
the case.
Right, you would
That's
assume.
but right.
Right.
That's the idea behind it.
Right.
But of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and so,
it seems as though we
We
need
need
to
last permanent secretary.
we need to create
Well,
a
no,
temporary
are you-
secretary.
No, but that,
Who's gonna be in
no,
charge?
here's
Yeah.
the thing. Who runs the ministry then?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day,
Somebody got to be in charge.
right, the MP is consistently changing.
Yes.
No matter what.
And-
Right.
At any 5-year interval, the MP could change.
And may- hold
The
on, may I
Not
say
even
this?
every Friday
The-
because they could be a cabinet
Right,
shuffler-
that's
shuffler,
right.
so-
The ministry has to continue to run. You understand? So
Yes.
you have to have that figurehead who is doing what they need to do in that ministry.
Well, they can't be very effective if somebody else can't do what they're doing.
It's just the policies
No.
that govern that ministry.
it's not that somebody else
Or
can't do
government-
it.
govern that
That's
office.
the structure. That's the hierarchy of the structure.
system.
And that's the person who's at the top. But
So
like
do
you-
they leave the post when they die? Like
Who-
how do
yeah,
they
who
leave the post?
who appoints
They
that?
hit-
Who
they-
appoints that
they
position?
hit retirement age, or what I think we've all
Jesus.
what I think we've all seen in practice is you hit a point where you near in retirement, and then you get moved into other ministries.
But you're still
unless
making
you
decisions.
unless you're very very good, and if you're very
PSs
very
move to
good,
be diplomats and all kind of stuff.
Yes.
I feel as though we need to put a
Okay.
limitation on that job as well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
well, listen, the civil service gives you what 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's the top position, and it takes people a lot of time
To get
to
there.
move up to that point. But I think ultimately we need to figure out how to revamp the system, right? Because
And make ministers accountable.
I'm reluctant to
PS
say
secretaries
that
accountable.
Bahamians are horrible
Make
people.
Trump accountable.
inherently. I think we develop in cultures where Bahamians will opt to do the easiest thing.
Which may
Right?
not be the best thing.
Because
we
our
lazy.
systems don't have measures of accountability.
Because we
True.
lazy.
But and that's a part of it, right? And we
It's a big part of it.
But humans are lazy and always take the easiest option, right?
Yeah, but it's hot here, so we ain't trying
but
to
I-
do
Say
as
it
much.
all there.
Most people who take easy options are inventors. They people who have that inventive type
resourceful.
mentality. Yeah,
Who take the
they are
easy
the
road?
resourceful people.
In-
Yes,
well, inventors
because they're
have
trying to
empathy.
find a way to make things easier for themselves. So they can invent the pulley. They can invent all these different things that can allow for their work to be done easier. You have the majority of people just workers. They put their head down and
Yeah.
they just do what they have to do.
I need this wall built, yes, boss.
Yeah.
Not, you ain't got them being, most of them being like, okay, well, let's see how we can design this wall to make it more effective.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another topic now. We can start off now with Aaron. What's the
What's your-
topic, Aaron?
What you got, Aaron?
We had them two fatty wood doves
Yeah,
fighting over Dilly and my tree.
yeah, I hear them.
We did a moratorium on birds, but
Well, my
No
dog.
moratorium on birds.
Only 2
oh,
birds!
man, okay.
Yeah.
I cool with birds. Listen, I'm cool with y'all. My topic tonight is driving culture in the Bahamas.
The culture of driving in the Bahamas.
Driving culture and driving behavior in the Bahamas.
Okay.
This is a great topic.
I mean, yeah. I'm very upset at Bahamians. I want to say this
Again?
respectfully to everybody out there, no matter what situation you're in. But like, why do Bahamians drive as if they're trying to commit suicide?
They probably are.
Gail is trying to be respectful, man.
My bad, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
But like, why you gonna try to kill yourself? On my God.
No, legit.
Oh my God.
But
Have
then when you go to
y'all
Miami,
ever-
you straighten up and fly right, or drive right.
y'all ever ride with someone and y'all fear for your life to the point where it's like, okay, you
Press
reach
it
for the
right.
seatbelt. If you don't have on your seatbelt, you actually say you a person who don't wear seatbelts
And you actually put one on?
put on your seatbelt.
Are you pushing brakes?
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
pushing
done that.
imaginary
I've
brakes.
pushed imaginary brakes. I've swerved wheels, but my point is like,
And you sober?
y'all ever stop to think
Question is, the
That-
license over?
that no, y'all ever stop to think that, wait, this person drives like this
Every
every
day.
single day of their life,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they
On the same road you want.
yeah, pretty much.
I'm also certainly responsible for like 35% of the accidents out there.
I can't say that because
Contributory
because believe it
liability.
or not, someone like me, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the most cautious driver, but I'm the most aggressive. But don't think I slunk in on this road. So when I get behind the wheel, my presence is felt on the
Facts.
road. But at the same time, I drive in to make sure I stay alive.
What's your opinions of driving culture?
Well, I think it's quickly devolving, right? Like it's quickly just breaking right down, and we've seen a massive increase in fatalities on the road recently. A massive increase in from bump, little bump and
Fender
bump.
bender.
Fender bender.
Fender bender, that's what y'all was calling me. Look here, I avoid accidents. My insurance agent, I scared of her. And so I really avoid accidents. But there's been from people running stop signs and rolling through stop signs and running red lights.
Stopping in the road randomly
Oh, to talk to somebody.
to talk to somebody or to look at something or
Right. People launching into the road, walkers launching into the road. But what concerns me most is like, what if this is a passive aggressive resistance, right? Like, what if when people can't figure out how to articulate what they feeling or to say what they know, like this is how they respond. Like, you know what it is to throw your body into the road when the oncoming cars. And to know, you look in these by them eye, look at the girl in eye. They know you ain't gonna hit them with your car.
they know that for
Right?
real.
Like they have some
They know that.
powers, right? Like
You know
Yeah.
why? Because in their mind they're thinking, do you know how much times I done cross this road like this, you think you
Gonna be the
could
one to
take
stop
could
it.
be the one to stop me?
Right,
Oh, okay. Give
No.
me a little white boogie.
I think
No.
what Aaron getting at too is very important because with the same, you're talking about from the pedestrian standpoint.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, you have a lot of people who drive who actually are very passive when it comes to their life experiences. They'll stay in the same job for 30 years.
years.
But yet when they get on the road, they have a road rage and an aggressiveness that you would never even imagine that this is the same person you work with. You know? So I agree with you. Like the way we drive really it significantly impacts something different from who we live and who we are every day. And for you saying the same thing about a pedestrian, someone who probably wouldn't have that type of bravado or even put themselves in a position of being able to be hit by a vehicle, but because that's the scenario at that moment, they throw themselves out in the road and they expect you to just stop.
Yeah, man.
Not even thinking of what the consequence may be if you don't stop.
I think there's a sense of empowerment, right? Like when somebody stops, traffic, like there's 12 cars behind them and they
Right,
just
right,
stop to let a
right.
car out the corner, that person feels powerful, right? Like I stop and I let you out.
Yeah.
It don't matter that that's an actual traffic offense, right?
It is
Right.
true.
It's all obstructed traffic, right?
It is
Right.
true.
And people get mad at you when you suggest that, hey, we should actually say it's a traffic offense.
That's right.
But because in these moments, like,
Oh, boy,
okay,
that's my boy.
Right.
I can stop talking after this, but we so American, we've adopted that American culture, right? Because when you American and you hit 16 and you get a car, you free to travel your world,
Drive
the
it, you're right.
continental
The whole United
USA,
States,
right?
That's right. That's right.
And through the media, the emotions and the things we link to having a car, that sense of power. So like you say, you
That
could
is
be in
true.
a job for 30 years and you mad you will never show it at work. When you get behind your car, you feel the power, right? So whether it is you have the power to stop and let somebody out, or you have the
Oh.
power to almost hit that person
That's
crossing
right.
the road,
That's right.
I could agree with
right?
that.
And so what does it mean that people are living their lives like that? And what does it mean that we haven't figured out how to harness that power?
That's an excellent point, Aaron.
We could put BEC out of business.
So is that the same power you feel when you hold a gun?
Yeah.
Possibly different manifestation.
When you what?
Hold
Hold
a
a
gun.
gun.
Oh, hold on. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, I held a gun before. I mean, I hear people say it makes you feel invincible and powerful and all this type stuff. I mean,
No, babe.
I held the gun, I shot it, and after that I gave it back and left and was like, okay. I don't see
That
the
was
big,
it.
I don't see
Yeah.
the big thing about it, you know.
I guess that isn't an insecurity within you then.
Right.
And it's a sense of value or power you invest in that object, right? 'Cause
Right.
the car is just a tool, but it's a tool that
Hot tool.
represents a freedom of movement and your ability to move yourself. So, like, if you don't have a car in Nassau, you can't have a healthy adult life.
No.
Because you can't see nobody after dark.
Right.
True.
Because we don't have no effective
Proper
public
bus service.
busing service or transportation service at all.
And so we've fundamentally like stunted the growth of Bahamians and men in particular because of the culture of the man being able to provide these things, right? Because you got to be able to afford to have and maintain a car in a culture where people are buying your car and your car can get thief.
Yeah.
Right? And coconuts
People
could drop on your car because we don't
stealing
clear the
parts
coconuts
off
because we don't
cars.
care. Right? Like it just seems so counterintuitive. Like it just seems it don't make sense. But that's what we put people through to be healthy adults in this town.
Yeah.
Great
That's
point.
interesting.
It's a really good, Aaron. I really appreciate that. I guess with that said, we'll move right on to Jay.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Jones up. Crab.
So,
Pot cake.
okay. I feel like Bahamians need exposure. And by exposure, I mean, like, they need to get out and see more than just Florida.
Florida.
I mean, Miami. No, sorry, only broke people go to Miami.
Florida.
So they need to go, but they still need to go beyond Florida.
Right.
Right? I mean, a lot of people
But I
would
didn't
not even
Fort
consider.
Lauderdale.
Even Orlando, you get direct like there too, right? But I'm talking about, okay, there's a place even closer where it's cheaper if you want to go for shopping, right? Cuba. People don't even think about that.
Cuba.
Right? Jamaica. Damn it, even Haiti and the Dominican Republic. But then Bahamians have this certain mentality that all these places are backward, all these people coming here. But I guarantee you Bahamians was to take their ass to these places and see how well these and how far forward these people living compared to us. Then they'd have a whole different train of mind. That's why I'm saying I think Bahamians need to travel more. When I say travel, I don't mean to the US of A.
Or to the global north.
Yes. You know.
But could I say something?
Mhm.
Like, maybe when Bahamians travel, they want to feel like foreigners. Like, maybe they don't want to travel and be around a bunch of people who look like them.
Really?
Maybe they want to go abroad and feel like a fancy and feel like a foreigner. And be
You
around
still
people
can
who
feel
do
like
it.
a foreigner in Jamaica, Cuba, Trinidad, and because guess what? I guarantee you, Bahamians, wherever we go, we have to carry ourselves with a certain sense of pride and a certain sense of, I guess, Bahamianness that you could actually tell a Bahamian just by seeing them. You don't even have to hear them open their mouth. I.e., when you go to Florida.
And then when they open their mouth, you definitely know just where they from.
Okay, you know what I mean? But that's certain set of Bahamians. But I talk about you also have Bahamians who carry themselves in a very, you know, upright manner.
No, I talk about the Bahamians who only is go to Florida. Who you trying to get to go other places?
Right? And even when they go to Florida, right, I guarantee you they only go into the mall, maybe going to IHOP and like what happened to like the planetarium.
No,
and,
but it
like,
is have a
you know,
big
there's
party.
things there you can
Yeah,
see
you
as
can
well,
do,
right, to
yeah.
expand your mind.
They
You don't
have
just
a
have to
big
go
party
to
in
South
Sawgrass
Beach
Mills.
and
So,
Sawgrass Mills Mall
I just
and
think
that
it's the
type
lack
of
of
stuff.
On
education
Sundays.
too.
This is my point. Like
Yeah.
Bahamians choose to be ignorant.
well, I bet
True.
you though, if you, and here's an economic opportunity, if you created a guide online for people, like the, you know, the top 10 places that Bahamians should visit in 2018, right? But and give people some insight into the places that you think are worthy of exploring. Cause I'll be honest with you, when I go someplace, I get overwhelmed with the task of figuring out how to have the best time possible on this trip. And if you don't know somebody from the place you go into, you tend not to hit the best flipping places
Because
could
you
go,
don't know.
right? And so, but there's opportunity in this place for people to make money by helping Bahamians expose themselves to the world. Okay, but here's this also. Like, I watch too much Forensic Files, right? And like, True TV and thing. I watch too much crime shows. Like, so, as a solo traveler, I have this apprehension, you know, that sort of prevents me from being as adventurous as I could be. Like the idea of couch surfing. But I just came back from Cuba and I did an Airbnb thing, right?
Yeah, Airbnb, yeah.
And my vibe was I don't speak Spanish. And like 2 days before the trip, the friend who I had planned on going with, she had canceled. And so I was going to Cuba and I don't speak Spanish and I was in this Airbnb down the road from the
Yeah.
place where the conference was. And I was apprehensive as heck. Right? But my friend showed up and I had a great time. But I didn't have as good a time as I could have had because I don't speak Spanish and I wish I had learned it and I could learn languages like that. But that's another, you know, that's another thing that is a barrier for a lot of people if they don't speak the language of the place they're going. But anyway, I scared, you know, going somewhere by myself and then I get kidnapped and end up in Dubai in some slave ship, some sex slave ship.
Jason, you
I think that's the first thing you have to believe you could travel. A lot of people don't believe they could go anywhere.
That is true.
Okay, so I's a traveler.
You know
Anybody
that.
know me?
Yeah.
I's a traveler. All right. Now, to piggyback off of Aaron's story, but you know, friend leaving you and okay, it was a college friend of mine, his fiance at the time, and me. They lived in New York. I in the Bahamas. We going to Brazil for Afro-Brazilian festival. Now, before I leave, they tell me we going to Brazil. We can meet you. Okay, give me your information. They never gave me the information. My ticket didn't buy. They freaking.
Oh, wow.
So I left, went to Brazil. Don't have no contact for them. And we supposed to be staying with their friend. I get to Brazil. I don't enough speak Portuguese. Nobody really speaks English. And I'm walking with a big ass backpack. And I don't know where the hell I'm going. And so somebody should just go look for a Passo, which is a guest house, right? So I go and I find this guest house. But boy, listen, culture is a serious thing, eh? Brazilians do not know how to give directions. Just like Bahamians, but they think they waste. Because they don't give you, at least Bahamians like, okay, at the dilly tree turn, no, buddy, you know, go about 10 feet, then you can make it this, and then you can do that, another 20 feet. And, what? Anyway, so.
They count their feet.
Listen. So when I got now to the place where I was, right, apparently what they sent me to, the tourist information center sent me to was this area called Pelourinho, which was like the tourist area. So that'll be the safest place for you, and all this type of stuff. Lots of touristy shit and parties and all this type of stuff. And they had internet cafes and stuff, so I was able to contact my friend. They were able to come get me after 3 days. But while I was there, staying in the Passo, which is the guest house, I mean, I met people from Argentina, Canada, San Diego, and one boy was from Brazil. And I mean, travelers linking up with travelers. I don't know. It was just easy to get along and figure out what to do and stuff like that.
While you advising people, you know, so advising them, open your world, explore the world, travel. Let's also, you know, tell people, but travel like responsibly, right? Because the truth is, people need a break from their lives, especially when they're in tourist dominated economies, right? Like, you know, like by them, they send you to a tourist area where you would be safe. So like unless you're traveling with somebody you know, like the idea is, yeah, you're going to experience how people live where they are. You're not going to be catered to. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a different experience than going to the hotel.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. I live in a tourist town, so I don't want to do the typical tourist things.
In
If that makes sense.
addition to that, you know how people in tourist places carry on, how we carry on.
And
So-
plus, as a tour guide, I see them almost all the time.
Part of it is kind of thinking that people in other places aren't as fucked up as people are in your place.
But, I mean, reality is people are just as fucked up.
They can be, but
know.
like you say, travelers are generally interested in seeing a new place and just interacting with some different people and stuff like
They
that.
want to feel the place like the locals is feeling, so
Right.
they can give a genuine opinion
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
You want that cultural experience,
Right.
like the food,
Right.
the art.
I
Well,
was
at
up-
least that's how I feel.
I was having an argument about with my aunt about going somewhere on a cruise versus actually spending a couple days there.
Right.
And I was like, well, I would hate to have to go somewhere for 8 hours because I
You
could
ain't
see
going there.
I could see a couple of sites, but I can't experience like what Tuesday night and Thursday night could be like.
Yeah.
You know, like I just in that aspect, I didn't feel like it made sense.
Yeah.
And-
But, yeah, cruises don't make sense to me neither.
But on another note, if we live in a tourist dominated economy, right? We all should be traveling. We all should be trying to understand the experience of a tourist,
Yeah.
so we could be constantly
Applying it to what
Yeah.
Right.
trying to give.
I know well.
right and like what we do in the spot, right? It's an intuitive thing. You want to be able to not preempt, but sort of get a sense of what's going to happen next, and so you want to be able to provide the experience you think this person has come for.
Right.
Not to say you performing for them,
Right.
but
yeah.
you want to know whether these by them would be more comfortable going to the historical society for a early evening lecture if they want to go to Junkanoo practice till 4 in the morning. Right?
That's true.
And you do that by going where other people live and seeing what not only what makes them comfortable but what they enjoy.
Totally agree. Let's wrap up that particular aspect of it and let's move on to Gail for her topic.
Yeah, I had a lot of time to think about it, and I still didn't come up with anything. So,
Let's talk about driving.
so
Let's talk about driving.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could do like top 3 pet peeves on this road.
Hey.
That'd be really good.
Wow.
Well,
So-
this would be Zudo.
Yeah. So who can start?
I'll
Gail,
start it. Yeah.
you gotta
yeah,
start.
thanks, Gianna. Yeah.
You gotta say thanks, Gianna. Thanks, Gail. Thanks for your topic.
Yeah.
Number one, the thing that has irked me the most is people who have their brights on at night coming toward you and do not lower / turn down / whatever
Their
you want to
beam.
call it, their high beam.
Serious.
In the defense of some people, they can't turn down.
They should not be on this road.
Agreed, but everybody is set up like that.
I don't care. You cannot be on
You know,
this
the
road
struggle-
blinding
the
me. This don't make no
struggle-
sense.
And it gets worse and worse as you get older.
Not only that,
That's the
you
criminal
trying to-
justice slogan of the year. Everybody is set up like
Everybody
that.
is set up like that. Like, you can't tell me go fix my
Wait.
lights if I ain't get
You
it.
trying to
Like,
watch
what?
the road for people stopping in front of you. You trying to
You
watch the
serious?
road for pedestrians. You trying to
Yeah.
watch this road for potholes.
And you got these bright lights.
Meanwhile, you cannot see. That's unfair.
What you should do is turn off your lights and then.
Well, they just wouldn't see me. Driving on the island, that's like 10 times worse. I don't get it. I really don't. And they don't have street lights. So I really, really just don't get it. But anyway, that's my number one. Number two, I'd have to say people who turn cars back blowing their horn when the light turn green. Honestly, that has bothered me in a special way because it don't make no sense. Why do you feel like you didn't
You
see
ain't-
this before I saw this? I don't
You ain't got the light
understand.
anyway.
You make it?
That's what I saying.
I
I
don't
hate
get
when
it.
the boys sitting in the front blowing their horn. Like, for what?
I don't get it. I really don't.
You know what's the best part? When they blow it, 0.5 of a second
After the light
it
turn,
turns.
yeah.
Like it
Okay.
just turned green.
You know 3 people are gonna run that light, boss.
But not even give me an opportunity for the brain to send the message to the
To say
foot.
move.
Okay, you know, like give me that opportunity, Dread. Like, wow.
Yeah, and then number 3, I would probably say is people who don't know how to wait their turn at the gas station pump. Like, this legit be bothering me.
That is bothering me too.
For a little while, like if all 2 of us pull up and you know you see me here first, why are you pulling up? On top of that, the gas station for
Attendant,
who don't
that's right.
like organize the situation and
That's
just
right.
looking for drama or whatever y'all have going on.
They're
Stop
looking for
it.
Entertainment, man.
Okay.
Stop it.
You know how boring it is to pump gas all day.
I had to
man,
hop out my car the other day and I had to catch myself.
That's pure entertainment at the gas station, man. Don't slunk on
You
that
almost
job.
get gangsta.
I had to ask him if he didn't see me. Because he couldn't have seen me and pull up. It didn't make no sense.
You was pulling up in the 90.
No,
Oh,
that's the broad daylight. Anyway, that's my top 3.
who next? The
Yeah.
top 3.
I'll go. I hate when people just stop in the middle of the road
Yes.
to talk to someone, to look at something. Like, they just, like, no traffic. They just stop in the middle of the road. Like, just doing
Like a
God
complete
knows what.
stop.
Like, they had a stop sign in America. Hate that.
I hate the ones who just be stopping to look at gals walking. Just saying.
You took it a bit too far. But I hate bus wars.
Hey.
I hate bus wars.
I hate being on the bus in a bus walk.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's the most scariest thing
It
in life.
legit is.
Like
though.
on the road, being in a bus on a bus walk.
It's like, but it's like, Dread, I didn't plan on dying today, Dread. Like, what you doing?
Like, hold on, wait, how you trying to duck all of this traffic in one corner that passing my bus stop?
Don't say, and you
You
can't say bus stop.
You
You
know.
cannot say bus stop after that.
Like, they talking about they taking the alternate route with my bus stop on that main road where you ducking. Like,
This
hold
bus
on
just
now.
turned into an express.
So what I gotta do?
My dope.
And then number 3. Oh man. I'd have to say. I know it's against the law, right?
When you start like that,
But my
This
man,
story is made up.
my man,
Right.
at 12 o'clock in the night in 2018 in Nassau,
Shouldn't be stopping. No
you
light.
don't need, you can stop to the light, but for a brief second, and then proceed. But
At me, bro.
Gianna, ain't nobody trying to rob me. Look at my car. They ain't even worried about that. They know I don't have nothing in the car but hot air.
So Aaron is beat on the stoplight. I'm glad I'm not
Aaron
alone.
is
Thanks,
safe.
Aaron.
Aaron is safe. But you know what she doing? She blocking up the go passage for everyone else who
get
you
robbed.
think who can get robbed, who can get killed, who, you know,
They will
The dude
get
behind her
robbed.
getting, the girl behind her getting
what?
robbed.
That's good.
getting robbed while she tootling her car, listening to mango music.
none of mine come here.
You know this, but 25.
Okay then.
That's very
Aaron,
solid.
your 3.
You know when you're on the road, right? And you know the jackass is going to run that stop sign.
Yeah,
And so you slow down to give him enough time.
to do.
Foolishness. And not hit another car. Like you read his mind. And then he don't acknowledge that you read his mind by tooting his horn back at you. I hate that. Like when you run the red light. And I stop my car so you don't kill me.
Right.
And you don't like blow your horn or put your hand out the window to say, hey, thank you
Yeah.
for reading my mind. I hate that. Like I get really,
You need time.
pissed
You
off
want
by
to be
that.
acknowledged.
Yes, please, for doing these wonderful things like saving lives.
All right.
Some of y'all crazy.
I have another one.
I am number 2. I basically hate everything.
You say
Like
everybody?
everything.
Everything.
Like how cars start running the red light like in the middle of the cycle. Like it's too late. You're 3 seconds in. It's too late. Just wait. Like why you have to overtake me to run the red light, boss? I'm very upset
Aaron
about
is
that.
stop at yellow.
yeah.
If yellow man go fast because red coming up.
I hate you too.
Jason
But
is
my
overtake
number my number 1 pet peeve is like when your Grammy is on the road cutting a flick.
you. My lord.
Like if your Grammy cussed me, why am I not allowed to cuss back at her?
I agree with that one. I agree.
Right?
With
Like
that one.
I'm gonna kick your grandmother's car.
Wow.
Like
Who
the-
say you in a
I ain't gave a god.
my friend said that I could not cuss at his Grammy anymore, and I said I did not
Oh, see, you gotta understand that's between you and your friend. Like, that's a
Oh,
friendship.
hold up.
That's a friendship.
That ain't in general.
That's a personal
It's
grudge.
a friendship rule.
That's a
Like.
And I
PI.
said, I did not know that was your grandmother, and I will not curse at her anymore, but she has no manners. And he said, you were right, she has no manners.
Well,
And we went on our way.
cool.
Because some old people are very disrespectful on the road,
That's
Great.
funny.
and they know better. And, you know, I getting ready to drop
On
kicks
the
and
road.
balls.
Going 20
off
miles
the
per hour
road.
is disrespectful.
They disrespectful on the road.
You have the last point, Aaron.
That was it. That
That
was
was
number
it,
3.
yeah.
She
Oh,
say everything.
Everything was
She
number
ate
2.
everything.
Yeah.
Number 2, everything. That's just inclusive of all things.
Jay,
Alright, so my first one, getting back to these buses. Okay,
That's a whole
I
thought.
live in a neighborhood
In
that is
Angeles.
that is at the end of Carmichael Road, right? How is it that I can't ever get a proper bus to take me from Bacardi Road to the end of Carmichael Road? Now, are you talking about I get on the bus from downtown? They say they're going all the way down there, you know. And then they get to Bacardi Road and decide, no bus, I going back uptown.
They realize
And that-
it's only you.
Okay? And guess what? First of all, it's $3 to get down there, not just a dollar $1.25. Then it is an hour from Bay Street to Bacardi Road. So I still got another freaking, if I have to walk, another hour to get to where I get to go.
Yeah. That's the
On an
part.
island that's 21 by freaking 7, but it should never
Yeah.
take nobody that long, man.
That hour is
I
on the
know
bus
they-
service in general
There's a-
because
they
they stop
started-
anywhere.
There's
They
a
s-
new bus union.
There's a new bus union.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it's gonna be different from the old bus union?
Yeah.
No, they have
You
new.
sure?
They have new buses.
They might have a permanent secretary. And that's gonna cause problems.
What you have for number two,
Go
Jay?
ahead, Jake.
You know, I don't even know. Like,
You still
wait,
walking
could you
home?
yeah, I still walk. You know, wait, you had a point. Take mine.
Anyway, so I know this may sound weird, right? But I hate it when, okay, if you could let me out the corner or something, you know, give me a sign you let me out the corner. Like, don't just.
But I
pull up
easing up though.
Like, don't
You
just.
should see me going
speed,
slower.
Don't just speed and then slow up right when you about to let me out and like honk at me like I know
Sound like
you
you
was
down
letting
in the
me
road
out.
though.
Huh?
Sound like you was down in the road.
No. Just me sitting at a corner.
Let me
And they
figure.
done making
Like they-
breaking the
like-
law.
like
They
they-
supposed to just keep
I
going.
swear, like-
Toot at you. Hey,
And then,
what's
they,
going
and
on?
then
Flash
they
their
honking like,
lights.
Yeah.
give me a sign that you can let me out. Give me a little toot, and then I'll proceed to pull out as you slow down.
Can I
You
be?
making it a scene like you let me out. Sorry, Aaron, but you
And you
making
slow.
a scene
You
like
slow.
you let me out,
I
and
hate
I
that
dead
too.
slow.
You slow.
And how was I supposed to know? Come on.
Let me show
Oh,
you why.
man.
VAT must be 75% on turn signals. These boy them refuse to wear out the turn signal, buddy.
I hate people who don't use their signal. That annoys me.
goodness.
What if I use my
committed
signal
that
while I
sin
turn it?
before.
That's even worse.
No, boy, that don't make any sense. I already know you turning. Why
But
you
I
wasting
still
our time?
using it though.
You distracted me.
The point is to
I
let me know
distracted you.
beforehand.
I already knew you was turning.
No. What but them said who did like turn in saying and you at the corner like, oh okay they turn in but then they still pass the corner.
Oh, that's how I got in my last
Oh my god.
That's why I
accident. That is
don't
legit
trust
how I
turning.
got in my
That's why I
last.
don't
That's how you
trust
get.
turning
Yeah, exactly.
signals.
Yeah.
That's why
I
people
learned my
don't turn
lesson that
them
day.
on.
I don't trust turning signals.
Nigga turned it on, and as he turned it on, he passed to go straight, you know. This was
Yeah.
me in the road.
Because
in
he
his car.
wasn't stopping at that corner. He was using the appropriate distance from
For the
the.
next two corners.
Yes. You have to know these things, Gail, in the manual.
Hey, Mr. Charlton, if you still out there.
And with that said,
This wraps up our third edition of Post Practice. It's a wrap.
We don't really care. It's our opinions, all you gotta hear. We sensible sometimes, without no doubt. But try this in with a conch shell in your mouth.
Fuck these people talking about,
Post practice,
talking about.
post practice,
Couple shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really post. It's really post. It's really post.
Talking about,
Post practice,
what they talking about?
post practice.
Couple shut your mouth.
Post practice, it's really post. It's really post. It's really post practice.